right, so you guys heard the noise that was coming through the supercharger side. Right now, I'm currently taking off everything that I put back together yesterday. And this little oil catch can situation that I tried to invent, I don't think it's working. I honestly think I need to get a PVC valve and slap it in there somewhere. But as you guys can see, the oil is still there, and I cleaned it up when I put everything back in, unless that was residue from certain areas that I couldn't reach. But as of right now, it looks like it's not working. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get me a PVC valve and slap it in there. Maybe that'll help me out, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I need to create a better or when I purchase a better oil catch can, maybe it'll work. But today's plan is I'm gonna go ahead and remove everything, well, just the supercharger stuff, just because I'm under the impression, or at least I think, that my tensioner might be bad, and I think that's what that noise is. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm actually gonna go ahead and like I said, remove as much as I can that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the scoop as well, the shaker, remove that piping all the way from underneath, just so I can turn on the car and see if there's anything that I can actually visibly see that's messed up. I honestly think it's my tensioner. Honestly, that was 2 Hondas that just went at it with, well, actually 1 Honda with, I believe, maybe a Camaro. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all of this, see if I can find the damaged part, because I don't think it's the supercharger, to be honest with you, because, well, then again, I don't know. I need to check it and see if there's any movement in there. But let's go ahead and remove all this. I'll bring you guys back once it's all done, so give me 1 sec. All right, so I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but you guys see all that little gray stuff on my fingers? Well, what I ended up doing was I ended up sticking my hand in here where the tensioner is currently at, and I'm just pushing my hand in there, and I can already feel the tensioner. Oh, you guys see all that metal right there? I think the tensioner is broken and it's rubbing up against the supercharger plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on right now, and I'm gonna just confirm. Well, actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna turn it on. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove everything, because that right there is already enough confirmation to pull it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now, see how that works. All right, so now that I'm back, obviously you guys can tell it's a little bit darker outside, but I just wanted to show you guys. I know you guys see that. You guys see that right there? It was the tensioner was actually, I don't know if it was broken or it started to give out, but it started rubbing up against the timing chain cover, and that's what that noise was. I double checked the supercharger. The supercharger was actually okay. So I found my culprit. It is the tensioner. As you guys can see, the rim right there was rubbing it. So this pulley is a little bit thicker. I'm gonna try to see if I can get an original Ford one. I got this obviously from Pep Boys or O'Reilly's, one of the two, but more than likely I'm gonna have to order one from Ford, so it could be a smaller pulley on that end, and then I should be in the clear. But I got it just in time, because if I would have kept driving it and running it, that would have sucked. So as of right now, as you guys can see, it is a mess. I'm gonna start putting things away, come back to all this once I get the proper parts. It's cool though, because it gives me the opportunity to replace that red hose, the feeder hose for the supercharger. And as you guys can see, I failed to zip tie the red hose right there, and it fell to the floor, and everything that was in the oil filter started leaking out. And well, you know, these things happen. But anyway, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start this video when we get the right parts. So let's do it. All right, guys, so check it out. This is the old pulley. See how we cut it there? Well, we went ahead and got ourselves a new one, and we also did the same thing. We went and cut it on the edge as well. But what we did notice is that one of two things. I either put the pulley on backwards. As you guys can see, you guys see how it's rounded off on this side right here, and then this back side is facing the motor. When I took off this pulley, I think I might have pushed it backwards, or putting it backwards, and it applied more pressure going that way than it should have gone this way, because you see that gap right there? I think that's what that little gap was supposed to be for. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, completely wrong. But so this one, when you just put it on and you sit it there, it scratches really bad. So I put that one on already. There it is. No more scratching. So hopefully with the pressure and everything else, it doesn't push it back in. I already went ahead and snugged this down tight. I went ahead and cleaned all around. I also went ahead and ordered this feeder line, but now it's braided and super duty. So the guy from Vortec told me that it's meant to replace that one because that one leaks, and sure enough, I have a leak there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try my best to install everything that I can properly, obviously. Also too, I went ahead and purchased another bolt for the bracket of the supercharger. Reason why is because the other one that I have, let me see if I can show you guys really quick. This is the bolt that I had applying pressure on the middle of the actual supercharger. And if you look, you do a comparison, look at that difference. So I think this bolt might actually help me out with a little bit of the leaking, maybe because it wasn't a lot of pressure. It pushed up a little bit right there, but hopefully we'll see. And if I still get some leaking there, I'm gonna probably grab some silicone and just I wanted to do it right now, but I can't turn it on to see where the leak is coming from. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys this little update right here. I went ahead and purchased that as well. I was gonna purchase it from Vortec, but they were trying to sell me a whole bolt kit that was like $90, and I was like, nah, I don't need that. I just need this guy. So I found the diagram, and sure enough, look at that difference is amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and install everything back on and get this process going. All right, so I went ahead and purchased another little fitting. That's a 45-degree fitting. So I ended up getting this at Pep Boys. They ended up having a performance section. This is perfect. It's a 45-degree angle, and it actually fits and it works. So I was gonna end up ordering it online. Well, I was gonna end up ordering it from Vortec, but I'm happy that I ended up finding it. There is a small difference. This little 45 section right here, it's a little bit smaller than the other one, and then this entrance is a little bit smaller than the other one, but overall it clears and it works. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the ass later, but everything else works out pretty fine. So this is what came out of the supercharger right here. This is where the fitting sits, but as of right now, I'm gonna go ahead and mock this up, or actually set this up, and then when the hose actually gets here, we'll go ahead and check it out on this side, put some Teflon right here so it'll sit in there. But so far we're looking pretty good. I guess it was a blessing in disguise to take off everything, because I ended up finding more problems. So the least amount of issues we have, the better. Keep in mind, guys, I was rushing the build because I wanted to take it to the tuner, but in reality we didn't end up going. Well, the only reason why we didn't end up going is because there was a miscommunication on the appointment date, and I was still having issues with my current setup, trying to figure out exactly what the issue was. But we're gonna go ahead and reschedule that. If we can get in there, awesome. If he recommends getting a little outside tune, awesome as well. But as of right now, we're gonna go ahead and put this on, and then we're gonna go ahead and continue this when the actual braided line gets here, and we can go ahead and finish the install. Can't believe that fell, embarrassing. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and knock this out. Let's get it. All right, fellas, so the supercharger is back on, pretty sturdy. Yeah, man, everything's pretty much back on. So once I receive the pressure line, I'm gonna go ahead and install it. So I'm not gonna install the little downpipe that goes right here yet, but if you guys can see the little blue thing right here, bing, 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 right there. I'm gonna go ahead and install it, but as of right now, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out everything else that needs to be put on. I'm gonna go get me a PVC valve, see if I can try that, because, you know, my whole little situation over here. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and install everything. Let's get it going.
Diles que yo también te ayudo.
¿Me ayuda?
Ni modo.
My grandpa is gonna get credits at the end of the video. Thank you, grandpa. He's the muscle around here. He helps me out. As you guys can see, that little rope right there, he helps me out with the tensioner, because we don't have a lot of space to move it with the wrench, so we pull it with a rope. So everything should be good. Hopefully we don't get any more noises, but as of right now, let's put everything back on so we can go ahead and get closer and closer to a start. And just like that, we're all back together. All right, so check it out. So now that everything is back on, the only thing that I do need to do is attach that oil return line right there. Let me see if I can, that one right there. And then I'm waiting for the oil feeder pressure line, I guess you can say, to show up, and then I can go ahead and give you guys a good start. As of right now, what I am gonna do is I'm gonna connect the oil return line, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give it a wash, dry it off, and then call it a day for today. But when the parts get here, we'll get it rocking. Guess what, fellas? The hose has arrived. So this is the hose that I was waiting for. This is the braided hose that feeds from the oil filter, well, the motor, to the supercharger. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this really quick. Man, it looks a little big, but we're gonna find out if it's gonna fit. But we're gonna go ahead and install this really quick so we can go ahead and turn on the motor, and then hopefully we can have Zach pull up and he can help us out, because apparently we're having a boost issue. I'm not sure if I said that already, but we're having a boost issue, and then I need to figure out more little issues, but hell yeah, it's here. Let's get it going. All right, so the braided line is now officially on. I'm not sure if you guys can see it right there. It goes down, goes to where the oil filter is at. I also went ahead and installed my little Mickey Mouse ass dipstick. So let's go ahead and turn it on right now, and let's see if we get any oil leaks, because as of right now, I have not seen the oil leak that's right here, and the hose right now doesn't seem like it's leaking. So maybe I might have fixed that and that when I fixed all this up front. So all I know is that the rear main is leaking, so that's gonna need to be repaired. But I did make a joke about it, saying in the last videos when we were putting in the motor, I wonder if it's been changed or not, and I don't know 100%. Maybe I damaged it, or maybe it was put on wrong, whatever the case. But let's go ahead and turn this on. As you guys can hear, we still have that exhaust leak. We still have that exhaust leak right here, but it sounds a lot better. If you guys remember that loud ticking noise that was coming from here, now we only hear the whistling, which sounds about right. Other than that, I think we pretty much hit the home stretch. I just have to look underneath to see if there's any oil. No oil coming out, so that's a good sign. Now we have to find the boost leak. Then we also have to figure out the issue with the electrical, but as of right now, it's just sounding pretty healthy. All right, so let's step on it. Let's see how it sounds. All right, you see that right there? Gradually stepping on it. Sounds like it wants to die. I think it's because I put these stock injectors back on and it's not getting enough gas, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully when Zach comes, he helps me out with that. But as of right now, guys, we're looking pretty good. There you go, fellas. Sounds a lot better. The exhaust leak, to my ears at least, I'm not a trained professional with exhaust, but to my knowledge, it sounds a lot better. Sounds a lot quieter. I don't hear that loud ass like thump, 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 thump from here as much as I used to. Yeah, really sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and move it back and forth just so I can move the tires around. That way they don't get, you know, hard spots and stuff. But I didn't even end up using the stud that I was supposed to use. I originally had used one of these, but I didn't snug it down all the way. Like, I didn't tighten it. I finally figured out a way that it allowed me to get in there and really get in there and tighten it as hard as I could. So sounds a lot better. Like I said, I'm not an exhaust professional. I don't know if it still sounds like it's leaking or not, but right now it just sounds really good. I'm gonna go ahead and close the hood, move it back and forth, and yeah, I honestly, I'm pretty hyped.